of you who want to become a digital entrepreneur to understand that are going to be glitches wherever you are. So I apologize for our next speaker, and I will do my best to introduce him the way he deserves. Travis Fox. Travis Fox is an architect, a very special kind of architect. He's a founder and CEO of the Architects of Being online training. He's an Academy and Emmy Award winner, a brand builder, life and lifestyle architect. Travis has been architecting lives, culture, and stages for 30 years, holding doctorates in both psychology and clinical hypnotherapy, reaching beyond the common uses of conscious and subconscious models. Travis has perfected a step-by-step program designed for those who are ready to transform their lives and wake up from the hypnosis of the day-to-day boredom. Travis' online training program allows anyone, anywhere, to learn wealth, create deeper, more passionate relationships, eliminate fear, and a blueprint to healing. Architect not only their lives, but their lifestyle, and earn while you learn. The title of his speech is Have Everything Now and What is Keeping It From You. So please, without any further ado, I would like to welcome Travis, and here he is. Welcome on board, Travis. Hi.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're excited. That was the best video that we never heard, which means, as you probably undoubtedly know, technology adjusts. We're just going to go right into it. And thank you for trying to run that. I know that you guys have had a great morning already over there. And so what? I'm going to jump right in. We'll play that video at the end. That's just to give you kind of an idea, because what we do differently here at the Architects of Being, and we're going to do today, we're going to interact. You see, I believe that learning isn't just about me talking and you sitting back. This is about us having an engagement. Now, most importantly, what I want to know from all of you out there right away is how many of you are really interested in understanding the difference between riches and wealth? Now, for most of you, you're probably going to quantify that, well, you answer as a money thing, meaning that if I have riches, I must have a lot of money. If I'm wealthy, then I must have even more money. Well, what if I were to tell you those are slightly different definitions, but even more so, I'm going to talk to you today what we've been doing for the last 30 years around the globe to help people truly move from a riches and a wealth set space where they can have both, but it goes way beyond what you've ever thought possible. And I'm going to give you the 6 top tips today that'll help you get out of your head and realign about money. So let's ask the most powerful question. And I think this is probably one I always like to ask, but it's probably kind of a straightforward, is how many of you are actually really interested in riches and wealth? Just kind of raise your hand. I can see the chat out of the corner of my eye. This will be interactive, and I will answer questions as I go along. So feel free to pop them in at any given moment so we can continue to go. But let's talk about riches and wealth right here. You'll see it on your screen. It is called Riches and Wealth for the Freedom Summit. Now, how many of you want more money, you want more time, and you want more freedom? If you don't want one of those 3, then I'm probably not the one you want to listen to. But if you do, I'm definitely the one you're going to want to listen to, because in the next short time we're going to spend together, I'm going to show you exactly how to create those things. More specifically, how to get out of your way from where you stop yourself creating those things. See, as an entrepreneur or a business owner or as a CEO, as I've been for over 30 years, I find that the central axis is ourself. Wouldn't you agree? So let's dive right in. Let's stop doing this. Let's stop getting paid, start getting paid what we're worth. Now, as you see on your screen right there, we're going to cover each one of these. So I'm going to read them out for you, and then we're going to cover them in detail so you can see where we get in our own way. I'm going to show you how to snap that out of it in a value. And at the very end, I'm going to show you how you can join into the Architects of Being online training academy for anywhere in the world and start changing your life. I mean, like right now. So let's look right on the screen. Thanks for guys catching up on me. I appreciate that. We're going to go right back to that. There you go. Thank you very much. We're having one of those days. This is when you get to learn if you're an entrepreneur or you're just someone out there playing around. Things happen all the time. You've got to be able to pivot and move with them. You've got to be able to roll with them. And guess what? There's a reason that it's happening. The question is how you see that lens is going to change whether you stay at rich level or you truly become wealthy. And I'm going to show you the difference here. So let's look on the screen. I want you to see where it says not getting paid what you're worth. Now, how many of you, let's be honest, how many of you really out there feel like, gee, I should be making more money. I should be getting more of my freedom and I should have more time. Thank you, JB, for raising your hand. I appreciate it. I see out the corner of my eye. Thanks for being a part of that. Okay, So at least we got one or two. All right. Ivy's in there as well. I've been willing to bet that every single one of you who's come to the Freedom Summit has already faced this somewhere in your mind over the vast amount of speakers that you've experienced. I should be making more money. Here's the funny thing. Many of you are highly educated. Many of you went to middle school, high school, maybe university or college. You have these wonderful degrees. But if you ever noticed, education doesn't teach you necessarily how to make money. More importantly, it doesn't tell you how to deal with one of the single longest relationships you're ever going to have in your life, which is you. And matter of fact, they taught you the complete opposite. We're here to show you how to wake yourself up, show you how this mind is working against you, and most importantly, how to turn it to work for you. So let's start with the first one. Stop wasting time and make money. Now, let's be honest. We have these what we call guardians against money, because if we ask for money, then we feel like we're a salesperson, or maybe we're just trying to hawk something we're really not interested. I'm talking about passion, purpose, and being on point. But moreover, we spend so much time. And then what we do is we commiserate with our friends about all the different things that have gone wrong, how we didn't invest in this sequence, we didn't invest in ourselves, we didn't get on board. And next thing you know, all we're doing is wasting time. Now, especially during this time in the world right now, especially over the last 120 days, you've had nothing but time in order to generate and make more for your business, more for your entrepreneurial journey, and most importantly, for whatever your culture and your company is doing. The question is, have you, or are we still wasting time? And we got to be honest with ourselves, family. This is a dialogue, so we're going to get into this. The second one, we resent ourselves for not making the money that we want. Now, I get the beautiful honor of turning 50 years old this year. Yeah, I know I don't look 50, but yes, I actually am 50, and I'm a 3-time father and a 1-time grandfather. So yes, the truth is we get to look at ourselves as we get older in life and going, God, I should have been there by the time I was 30, or I should be there by the time I'm 40, or I definitely should have been there by the time I was 50. And we start subtly resenting ourselves. We're going to dive into that today and show you how to snap right out of that and truly free yourself so that you can go and create money. I'll show you what money means in a value sequence that will change everything you've ever learned. Next, how about this? Not getting paid what you're worth. We already covered that. We all agree we're not getting paid what we're worth. But here's the thing. If you're an entrepreneur, or you're a CEO, or you're an emerging startup corporation or a startup company, guess what? You're not getting paid what you're worth. The central access to that is you. Now, I know that doesn't feel good, but we got to own it somewhere so that we can actually move forward and start creating the life that we want. Otherwise, we are doomed to repeat the same results that we've already gotten before, right? So let's move into the next one. Stop daydreaming and start creating. I'm a huge proponent of people who have unorganized thought. Now, what do I mean by organized thought? I mean, we've all heard of this thing called like the law of attraction. If I think it, it'll show up and it'll fall out of the sky. Well, if that was the case, then the Freedom Summit wouldn't be here. I clearly wouldn't be talking, and you clearly wouldn't be attending. So let's agree there's something deeper going on than I just think it'll show up. Because if that was the case, we already be there. So we got to stop daydreaming and truly create. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a couple steps today as well, that you can put into action today, right now. Last but not least, you don't have enough, or not last but not least, but second to last. You don't know how to create a plan. Now think about this for a second. Many of us, when we go to build a house or when we're going to start something, we have a plan. We have a blueprint, but how come we don't have a blueprint for our own life? We don't have a blueprint for our own lifestyle. We don't have one. We don't even know how to create one. In fact, when you think about your education, you go back to middle school and high school and university, you were never really taught how to do a business plan for your life, how to understand. And we don't do anything without a blueprint. I'm going to show you today how to architect a blueprint. What's what we do here at the Online Training Academy. You want money, but you're in debt. Gosh, raise your hand if that's you. I want to make money, Travis, right now, but I'm in debt. So what we've learned then, if you are in debt, is you've learned how to borrow other people's money and spend their money. You haven't learned how to make money yet. And they're two very different things. There's no judgment in it. There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just a fact. It's a part of how we've been conditioned to go into debt in order to do something. Who said you have to do that? And moreover, how can we start to use our debt to actually create money? And I'll show you how to do that as well. Now, last but not least, and raise your hand if this is you. Hold on for the ride because we're going to go through this gangbusters here, fam. You struggle with your motivation, and deep down inside in places we don't really want to talk about, but we know We feel like we're not good enough to truly have the life that we really want. We're not good enough to make 6, 8, 10 figures a year. We're not good enough to ask people to come on board and be a part of our community because we're afraid of judgment, because deep down inside, we're still scared of their response. Now, raise your hand and let's get honest, because if you can't be honest here, you're never going to be able to change your career, because that's who you're actually sitting with. It's not being honest with me. It's being honest with yourself. All right, here we go. Let's dive in. Now, you're probably wondering, well, who's this Travis Fox guy? I saw this video that had no sound. It looked kind of cool. He traveled all over the world. And I saw some things about some stuff. Okay, great. Let me add some sound to this that might make it a little bit better on why you might want to stick around and listen to what I'm going to present to you. Again, my name is Travis Fox. My formal name is Dr. Travis Fox. I have a PhD in psychology. I have a second doctorate in clinical hypnotherapy, which means I've spent the last 30 years truly creating a system and a sequence and thousands of students around the world that allows us to go from what's going on here at the conscious level. How do we deal with things at the subconscious level? But most importantly, down here, we call the architect, or your heart. Because see, everything starts from here. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to believe or what to believe as far as the afterlife is concerned, but let's agree there is going to be an afterlife. Now, that means there's something bigger going on than our brain. We've got to dive into that. So my entire studies for the last 30 years and actual application, both in businesses, my own personal businesses, my coaches, people that I coach, my students, and on the online academy, has always been about this model. I'm a how-to guy. I'm an architect at heart. I want to know how to do it from an application, clinical point of view. I want to experience it right away, and I want to see results that I'm actually learning and earning at the same time. If that's you, raise your hand. You're in the right place. But last but not least, I'll give you some more of my accolades. I am an Emmy Award-winning producer. I've been nominated 5 times. I had the honor of winning my first Emmy about 6 years ago. There's 2 films out in the world right now that you can go watch that I'm in. One is Beyond the Secret. The other one is my good friend, Doug, who's coming up right after me. We did a great film that just released last month that is taking over the world. That's the one you're going to want to watch first. And that's called How Thoughts Become Things. So make sure you check out those films and get some more value of what we do. But also too, this year I got the great honor. I was named entrepreneur, one of the top 20 entrepreneurs by Yahoo Finance. And I was also named one of the top 20 Instagram influencers by BuzzFeed. So there's some of my accolades. You can see some of the companies I've worked with, yada, yada, yada. So here's what you need to learn from that little resume, family. I've spent 30 years doing all the mistakes so that you don't have to. I've done all the things that you're experiencing now and know how to get out of them, architect your way out of it for both at a corporate level, but most importantly, a personal level. So it gives you a little bit about me. See, because I've had money and I lost it, and I had it again, and then I lost it again, and then I created it again. And I can tell you, and I think you're going to agree with me, well, that having money is a whole heck of a lot better than not having it. So we need to architect a blueprint for our life and our lifestyle. And that's what we're doing today. And that's what I'm about. And that's who I am. So let's move forward. Let's dive right in. Let's get your pencils and papers out, get your pens out, get your iPads out, or whatever you're listening to this on, and listen to every single question. And I want you to write the answers down. You don't have to share them with me, but you do get to share them with yourself, because this is the moment you get to change your life. If you're not ready to change your life right now, you probably should go to, go get a drink, do what you need to do. But otherwise, stick around. We're going down the rabbit hole, and Kansas is going bye-bye. It's time to change our lives, starting with the one you see right on your screen. Here's why you're not getting paid what you're worth. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's get into it right here, right now. If you only had 30 days left to live on this planet, would you be doing anything in your life that you're doing right now? If any part of your answer is no, regarding the work that you're doing, the relationship that you're in, your physical fitness with yourself, your emotional state with yourself, your mental state, on your focus, your passion, your purpose, if any part of your answer is no, family, you absolutely must honor yourself and stop. See, most of you don't realize that your number one most valuable asset isn't money. It's not your education. And guess what? It's not where you live in the world. And guess it's not the type of industry you're in. It's time. You see, they say from the insurance companies that if you live to be roughly 80 years old, give or take, you'll have roughly 26,000 days of your life here on the planet. And that clock started ticking from the moment you were born. Started kicking down, 25,999, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the hard part, family. You have no idea when that clock stops ticking. It could be literally 30 days from now. But we spend most of our time in our mind living on what was, what could have been, what should have been, or what might be. Daydreaming out there in la la land, hoping to gosh our ship comes in. And here's the problem: you live in a place where ships don't show up. So what are you waiting for? So we actually approach our life completely asleep. Let's wake up. So if there's any part of your answer is no, write it down. Just keep that in memory. It'll come up later. Moving forward. Here's why you resent yourself for not having the money you want. Now, this one's a deep one, and we're going to go back to the law of attraction because a lot of people have based their entrepreneurial journey on this ideology that if I think it, it'll show up. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't have value, family. What I'm saying is there are 9 other laws that govern how the law of attraction actually works. So the secret was, they didn't tell you the secret. They just told you, hey, if you think it'll show up. What we did in the film is take that to a deeper level, and is what we're doing here now. And of course, when Doug comes up right after me, you're going to get some more of it. So you're going to get a 1-2 punch with Doug and I. Both of us are in the film. Doug's the executive producer of that film. I had the great honor of being a part of it. So you get this back to back. But here's why you resent yourself. It's a little thing called cause and effect. Now, I don't mean cause and effect like you heard in high school or college. I'm talking about the law of cause and effect of your being versus your doing. Here's what it says. You can see it right on the screen. Your outcome. Therefore, we can see the effect of our internal condition by observing our external or our current environment, which is a really fancy way of saying, hey, if I have a lot of debt and I don't have a blueprint and I have people around me that are constantly negative, guess what, family? That's what's going on inside your being. Hence why it's called Architects of Being Community. You are the architect of your life. You're the architect of your lifestyle. You're the architect of everything that happens from the moment you arrive on the planet. Now, whether you're aware of it or not, well, that's a whole nother story. So that becomes the question. If my environment is a reflection of myself, then what's going on in here? But if I have no idea how to navigate this, then I am doomed to repeat, as you see the young lady on the screen here as a representative, with this frustration, with confusion, feeling like you keep beating your head against a wall and hoping to gosh, it becomes a door one day. It's insanity. So here's what we get to shift from. If I start to recognize, and I have a blueprint for understanding the clinical, the application, and the experience of architecting my own being, my life and lifestyle, I can shift literally everything in my external world, literally by changing inside here. And I don't mean just thinking it'll show up. I mean, truly shifting. You can move from lack to abundance. You can move from fragility to strength. And most importantly, and probably most deeply impactful this time, is you can move from mental chaos to connected freedom. Now, freedom means anything what it means to you, but for me, it means the ability to move when I want to move, to engage with the people I want to engage with, travel wherever I want to travel with, help people when I want to help people with, because see, I'm addicted to watching people wake themselves up. I'm committed to helping change the educational system around the world. We're doing that now in several continents. And also too, most importantly, change how we approach life. Because guess what? I'm going to give you a little hint, family. None of us are getting off this planet alive. Period. End of discussion, right? It's the only thing we can all agree on. What we can't agree on is when that occurs. But remember, we all leave the planet the same, broke and dead. But life without living is the ultimate undoable regret. It's time to start architecting our life and stop resenting ourselves, because that's what we're ultimately creating. And if we don't know how to stop it at a belief structural level, at an emotional level, even a mental level, we're never going to see the tangible results, the riches of our wealth within. That's why it's called riches to wealth. Let's move on. Stop daydreaming and start creating. Oh boy. Now let's be honest, family. I'm willing to bet everybody here today can guarantee me they spend at least an hour to 2 a day mentally wandering off, going about nothing, just going nowhere. In fact, I'll prove it to you. Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm willing to bet right now you believe that you're paying attention to me. You believe you're solely focused on everything Travis Fox is saying to you, and you're sucking up every single morsel that we're giving you. And yet, while you believe that, how many of you have already wandered off and thought about something else, like maybe groceries you got to go get, or when lunch break's going to go, I need maybe a cup of coffee, maybe something you thought about last year, or how you're going to apply this information into some unknown future, but you have no idea how to get there. You've already wandered off. You have no idea where those came from. In fact, you don't even know where those thoughts came from. So how many of you have done that? Raise your hand. Let me see that just so I can get an idea who's actually owning that for right now. Let me jump in here, check some of these content. Absolutely. Thank you for saying you're guilty. Me too. Yes, you are the architect of your life, Lisa. You're absolutely correct. Thank you for the energy. Thank you, love, for the energy. That's because I'm in my passion. I don't have to actually go find my passion. I don't have to fake it. I am it. I'm in it. It's perfect. It works out just like a charm for me. So I want to do the same with you. So let's stop daydreaming and start creating. How do we do that? Okay, now you're going to understand why we teach you architecture first. A builder of any building, whether it's the home you live in, the building you're watching this broadcast in right now, a commercial building, a restaurant, a builder cannot build a building until the blueprints are received from the architect. In this case, the architect happens to be us, starting about you. We help you architect your life and your lifestyle. I'm the architect. You're the builder. Once I give you the blueprint and show you how to do it step by step, guess what? Bang, you're going to build it. You're going to design it. You're going to paint it. You're going to put the right furniture in it, and you're going to live it exactly the way you want. Now that's freedom, isn't it? That's what we're talking about. You see, because the imagination is the key to developing organized thought. Now, here's the problem. Many of you think daydreaming is imagination. Now, do they come from the same place in the subconscious? Yes, they do. However, one is trained to focus, create results. The other one is just wandering off, hoping to gosh that it shows up. So what I want you to stay clear of is fantasizing or daydreaming, because it's not organized. It's not constructive imagination. I'm going to give you a drill here shortly that's going to show you how you can actually train your mind using the imagination, but actually so you can create laser-like focus. How many of you could use better focus? Just raise your hand. Let me know what you got going on over there. I can see it in the chat over here. You're very welcome thank you, Lyndon. Such motivation with words. You're very welcome. I appreciate that, ma'am. That's very awesome. Okay, focus. Absolutely. So several of you need to work on focus. Don't we all? Okay, very cool. There it is. All right, let's move forward to this one. This is the #1 entrepreneurial killer. Get ready, take a breath. It's not going to feel good, but it's going to show you how your mind, what I just told you a second ago, isn't trained. And the reason it isn't trained is because it was programmed by someone else. Now, that's not your fault, and it's not necessarily your doing. What it is, though, it is your responsibility to change it. That question is going to come up a little bit later. We're going to find out how many of you are ready to change your life, or you're just sitting there hoping to gosh, something clicks, or just another thing you can waste your time on and not really move to the lifestyle that you want. Family, I'm going to say it again. None of us get off this planet alive. None of us. It's a fact. Now, how you live is completely up to you. You have an opportunity to change your life today, right now. The question is, do you know how to control this puppy? And do you know where it's actually originating from? And of course, in this case, is going to be your heart. You see, many of us are told in entrepreneurial that you have to be a killer and a cutthroat. I'm not. My entire organization worldwide is cooperative. And in fact, if it's not cooperative, we won't participate, because that's how I want to live my life. How do you want to live yours? Totally up to you. But if you don't have a plan, you're absolutely going to be in trouble. Now, we've all heard the saying that says, plan your work and work your plan. But what if your work is exactly what you love to do? Now, the #1 question that I get over all of my career is, Travis, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what I really need to do. I'm not really sure about any of that. Okay, what if we just shifted the entire ideology? What if we shifted so that you're passionate about everything? Now, here's where that question I asked you in the beginning about 30 days is going to come back. Get ready. I asked you, if you only have 30 days left to live, would you be doing anything you're doing right now in your life? If any part of your answer was no, then you are obligated to yourself to stop. Okay, here's why. If you approach your life from the concept of, hey, I only have 30 days left to live, you become passionate about everything. If someone came to you and said, guess what? You know what? Hey, Clarissa, thanks for answering, by the way. Hey, Clarissa, you only have 30 days left to live on the planet. That's it. I promise you, you'll be passionate about breathing. You'll be passionate about hugging. You'll be passionate about flowers. You'll be passionate about flying on a plane. You'll be passionate about eating a hamburger. You are passion. The only difference between you and I right now is I'm in my passion. I am passion. That's why it's easy for me to be excited, because I am excited. This is how I enjoy feeling my life. And if it doesn't feel that way, I know how to architect it so that it does. See, because my plan was based on I'm going to architect my life, my lifestyle. I'm going to create a system of step-by-step sequences that allow me to understand exactly how this thing works, how to jump into it and jump out of it when it's necessary, but allow me to always create from my passion. Because then I'm in alignment. And then I always know how to follow this. I don't have to listen to what this thing's doing because this thing's wandering all over the place just like yours is. But I can do this. See, because we rarely follow a thought or a feeling idea constructively. So, for example, we get a feeling or we get the next $1 million idea, and then we just jump right in without a blueprint. Now, that's like saying, hey, I'm going to go build $1 million house. Here's the money. I'm going to be back in 6 months. You just build what you want. And when you come back, maybe they've done a couple things and, who knows? Maybe they put an RV there or an outdoor pool and you're going, well, that's not what I had in mind. Yeah, but you didn't give us the plan. You didn't give us the blueprint. And that's because we don't have one. So here's an exercise to show you how to train your mind and how your mind wants to wander off. And it's called the skyscraper exercise. And you can see it right there on your screen. Now, we do this deeper in detail at the Academy, and we actually show this in depth. But since I have a shorter period of time, I'm just going to do it a quick version. I want all of you right now just to imagine a skyscraper. Doesn't matter which one it is. As long as it's 20 stories or higher, I don't care. But it just needs to be one that you can picture in your head and get an idea of it. Okay? Okay, you got that? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to step-by-step deconstruct that skyscraper and hold your focus all the way through. So take the windows off, maybe take the external concrete down, start taking some of the cabling, the electrical, the plumbing, and then you start taking it floor by floor, taking the I-beams out, taking the floorboards out, taking everything all the way down, floor by floor, step by step, as detailed as absolutely possible, all the way down to the foundation, and then see the cement being poured for the foundation, the forms, the rebar, maybe in the plumbing, and then take that back out and then see the dirt work being done so that you could lay the foundation down and deconstruct it all the way back to the very beginning and see the architect holding the blueprint, staring at the beautiful piece of ground, knowing that in a few short months, this is what's going to materialize. Now, 2 things you can learn from this drill, family. 1, you can see how your mind is going, oh my gosh, that seems overwhelming. That's so hard to do. And it wanders all over the place. That's an untrained mind. That's what we got to jump into and train it now. Science, application, experience. But 2, you're going to see that everything starts with the blueprint and with you being right here, the architect. But here's the thing. You're the architect all along. Just no one's trained you to be one. In fact, what they've trained you to be is actually just a worker. Someone who's working on somebody else's blueprint, working on somebody else's dream, working out somebody else's experience. Okay. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about absolutely changing your life for real. I've done this for 30 years. I'm not stopping. I have thousands of students that are now teachers around the world with their own brands because they know how to architect their life. That's what this is about, family. This is what we're talking about. And if we're not willing to change our life, then you get to own right here, right now in front of you and everybody else that you don't want to change your life. And that's okay. What's not okay is to continue to say in your mind, I want to change my life. I want to invest in myself. I want to mentor. I want to learn how to do a blueprint. And when the opportunity comes, you stop. That's not okay. We've done that enough. That stops today, because that, my friends, is called the infinite loop of our mind. It is a clinical fact. This puppy right here, commonly called your conscious mind or your mind at large, can only create from the past. It only creates from what it knew or what was. Well, that's great. If you love the results that you're getting, then don't listen to a word I'm saying. Keep doing what you're doing, journey on, and enjoy the rest of your life. However, if you're like most, and I imagine you are, you're still in the infinite loop of going, gee, I wish it would be different in my future, but I'm still creating from my past because you haven't been taught how this thing actually works, and more importantly, how to architect it, how to use it as the beautiful tool that it is. Just think it and show up is not real. You see, if you're coming from your wealth, from your being, from truly who you are, and understanding how to architect that, this thing up here becomes the beautiful tool it was designed to be. It will truly draw things into your world. It will make things happen far bigger than your brain ever thought possible. Because remember, your brain only creates from the past. So if you want more money, but you're in debt, learn why. Here it is. Ready? Write this one down. It's a big truth, family. Become aware of the truth within you. This is the truth. Now, I'm not talking about heebie-jeebies or kumbaya or, well, doggone it, people like you and that's great. I'm talking about being. Remember, you came into this life from somewhere. You're going to leave this life and go somewhere. Now, whatever you call that, family, is up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to call it. We call that great architect for simplicity. You call it whatever you like. Either way, it's a fact. You came in and you're leaving. The bottom line is there must be something larger than driving what you're doing. And that means this thing right here, that mind of yours, like the rest of your body, is going to stay behind. That means your being's got to be running the show. But if you remember, your education never taught you how to do that. It never taught you how to literally take the being and drive the human and go forward. Because remember, you're a being having a human experience, hence the term human being. Now, you've all heard the saying says that you're not a human doing, you're a human being. No, you're a being having a human experience. You're always a being first, and you are the architect. So become aware of the truth, that this truth, here it comes. For those of you that want to make money right now, want to change your life, boom, want to do it, want to learn how to do it, this is it. The material wealth that is in your wallet, that is in your bank account, that is in your company's revenue, that is in the people buying your courses, your trainings, or whatever line of work that you're in, is the direct correlation with your internal state of harmony, happiness, and passion to great architect's invitation to the adventure of a lifetime. You've spent most of your life chasing, searching, looking for it. Hope to God it shows up. And guess what? That's exactly what you were programmed right here to believe. You are go out and find your significant other. Go out there and find your soulmate. Go out there and find your dream job. Go out there and make a name for yourself. And guess what? None of it occurred. And here's why. Because the part that they didn't tell you is they programmed your mind to be addicted to the search. And you've been searching your whole life. Well, you called down the thunder. The architects are here because we are here to change that educational system on a global scale. And we're looking for people who are ready to change right now. Because if you're looking for the tips and tricks, I'm not it. If you're looking to dive in and architect your life, we're it. So let's be really crystal clear. The internal state of you is a direct correlation. And if I don't know how to architect this, well, then you are doomed to repeat the results of the past. And you are, more importantly, you're doomed to the whims of a mad mind, your own. So let's stop the loop right here, right now, right here, right now. Okay. When the mind seeks to distract you, I'm going to give you one of the most powerful psychological trips. Well, let's try that in English. Most powerful tips that you can ever have. And that's called a psychological bridge. And it's going to bridge you from where you were to where you want to be in a second. And it's based on two simple words. When the mind seeks to distract you, maybe even it's trying to do it right now, I want you to simply say, okay, and now, and whatever comes after the and now is where you want your focus to be. Example, for those of you who are parents like myself, when your kids are little, maybe 3 or 4 years old, and they come up and they go, mommy, daddy, and you kind of ignore them. Well, if you notice, ignoring them doesn't work. In fact, if they're to the side of you and you're talking to someone, they keep saying, mommy, daddy, you keep ignoring them. They'll continue to move until they're right in your face to interrupt the conversation that you're having because they want your attention right now. The same with your mind. Your mind is constantly distracting you from being here because it knows that deep down inside in the recesses of your subconscious, its time is limited. It is the one running the show. So if just like a little child, when those thoughts come wandering in, instead of wandering with them, simply go, hey, that's really great. And now we're going to focus on Travis. And now we're going to focus on creating the next step. And now we're going to focus on the architect. And you keep doing that and you train your brain. And it literally will happen in days. Your brain will go, got it. It's all part of our neuroplasticity. It's a part of the neurosynaptic sequence firing that happens in our brain, which is all these really fancy scientific words that we use to say, guess what? Your brain is a learning mechanism. At a subconscious level, it's called a servo mechanism or solution-oriented mechanism. It solves freaking problems. The question is, what are we challenging ourselves as a problem versus an invitation? So this is the biggest tip I can give you today right now is and now. Use it for the rest of your day. See literally how fast it changes your mind. And you will learn two things, family. If I never see you again, thank you for spending the time with me. But if I do, remember and now. Here's why. You're going to learn how your mind wants to distract you because your mind has nothing to do with now. In fact, there are 7 rules to the conscious mind that I guarantee almost every one of you do not know. Why? They didn't teach them to you. They don't want you to know. They want you to stay hypnotized. They want you to be good test takers. They want you to pass all your grades. They want you to get a job. What does that have to do with the life that you were born to live, that you came on this planet to do? I challenge every single one of you to become the architect that you are. Why? Because the results for every single one of us is the same. We're not getting off this planet alive, and you are not taking your money with you, and you're not taking all your accolades with you, but you are going to live the adventure of a lifetime or not. You get to choose. You get to choose to stop the loop today. Here's the big one. For many of you who struggle with motivation, clearly I don't. So you can see that's not an issue for me, but I would gladly like to show you how to architect it for yourself. Or you struggle with I'm not good enough. Listen to this rule of thought. We seek to feel powerful rather than being the unlimited power you already are. You are already amazing. Now I'm going to dispel something for you that you probably heard. I'm going to go through it rather quickly. So hold on for the ride. Buckle up your seatbelts because here we go, family. Ready? Here's the deal. You don't need to be more enlightened. You don't need to be more aware. You don't need to go out there and become light. You already are light. Example, we all have this beautiful thing that sits at the center of our solar system called the sun. It emits light. It doesn't emit any more light anytime one day or the other. It's just light, period. Yes, there's space around it. And just because the earth turns it back to the sun doesn't mean the sun stops shining. So too is it with you. You are the light within. You already are light. You are the architect. You are the being that came from wherever and is going to wherever. And you decided to stop and hang out here on planet Earth for a while. So you're already light. What you need to stop doing is stop putting layers of filters like sunglasses that dim your light. Things like anger and guilt and frustration and resentment and shame. And I'm not good enough and I'll never make it. And I'm not one of the lucky ones. And you keep putting all these layers and layers and layers and layers of filters on top of your natural light. Yeah, you're going to be a little dim, maybe even a little dull. But it's not because you're not light. It's because you've been adding all this stuff and you don't have a blueprint to pull this off, which goes back to the very thing we started this entire conversation with. The direct correlation for your wealth, for your money, your riches is based on the wealth of you coming forward. You see, money, people, is just paper. If I take the same piece of paper that's sitting here on my desk or the one that you're writing on, and I take a lighter and I light it, the money will burn just as powerfully as the paper will. It's just paper. It's the assigned value that we assign to it that makes it more interesting. Example, the reason why people assign value to that paper is we're saving you time. I'm saving you time right now. I've spent 30 years learning, making the mistakes, teaching, sequencing, building academies, interactive learning, video sequences, touchscreen ratios, everything so that you can learn faster. The exchange of value is, hey, Travis, I'm going to give you this piece of paper because we both agree it's an exchange of value. That's it. Beyond that, it's paper. It doesn't do anything. So it's our assigned value to it. So if I assign my value to that piece of paper, I'm diminishing who I am. Paper doesn't make you wealthy. Your skill set, the wealth skills you learn as an architect is what makes you wealthy. That translates to riches. And riches could be your money. Riches could be more clients. Rich could be creating schools. Rich could be digging wells in Africa or wherever you are. Riches has so many different applications, but we start with the most basic one so that you can tangibly start to change your belief structure called money. It's just that simple. Why? Because money is the lowest vibrational sequences out there. We all know that. I'm not going to dive into it. There's other great speakers that can talk to you about it another time. But for now, we call that money. Because the value exchange is, I'm going to save you time and money. I'm going to teach you how to architect your life and your lifestyle. In exchange, we're going to give this piece of paper and then we're going to go on the adventure together. If that sounds like what you're looking for, that's what we're looking for. So now comes the moment of truth. Here's the deal. You came here looking for something. Well, so did I. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to teach you the difference between a choice and a decision, and the moment of truth that you are looking for is going to arrive in less than 4 minutes, and then I'll answer any questions you like, and I'll gladly step off the stage and let Doug come up next because he's going to give you value too. Okay, here's the deal. A choice versus a decision. Now, many of you think that they're the same. Why? Because you were taught, well, you always have a choice and you need to make a decision. And they were taught you like they're synonymous, like they're one. They're not. They're completely different psychological structures. A decision comes to your awareness after your subconscious, and most importantly, your architect, made your conscious mind aware of it. That is a decision. Here's the irony of that whole thing, family, which is why probably and most likely you haven't had success with your journey, is you keep making the same decision, but the decision's made off a prior past experience. That's why it seems so natural. That's why it seems so automated. That's why it's like, duh, okay, I keep doing it. But if you notice, your results are identical because it's coming from that same sequence. A choice says, I choose this, even at times if I don't psychologically or mentally understand it, but I feel it. I feel it down here. I'm willing to trust my being because that's who I really am, moreover than my human being, because my humanness is going to stay here. And my humanity, my mind, has only been programmed based off the past, off somebody else's programming, off somebody else's vision of my life, working for somebody else's blueprint, for somebody else's architecture. Well, I think that stinks. I want you to make a choice based on what your gut tells you. We call that a heart ping at the community. And it's very, very simple. You want to feel it? You can feel it right now. You know how your heartbeat's beating a little bit faster? You know, you got smiles on your face. You're a little more excited. Your face is a little bit flushed. I mean, you're sweating. You can feel it. That's called a heart ping. That's your architect, your heart going, wake up. Listen. You may not understand everything, but if you did, then you wouldn't be here at the Freedom Summit anyways. Make a new choice based on your feeling, not on a decision of the past, because you've already done that. You've already wasted the money and the time, and you don't get the time back. You can always make more money. Heck, I'll show you how to make boatloads of money, and truly help people's lives, because that's what I'm interested in. If you're not interested in helping other people and helping change their lives, I am not the mentor you should hang out with. I'll save you a boatload of time. But if you are, stick around. This is the checklist. I want all of you to check these boxes to see if you're what I'm looking for. Ready? Because it's time to make a choice and a decision. Here's the first one. That you have at least 1 hour every single day to build your wealth. If you tell me you don't have an hour, bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Wait for Doug to come up. He's going to teach you some other value. Maybe he's the mentor for you. That's what you need to do. If you don't have 1 hour to commit to your wealth, I'm sorry, you're not what I'm looking for. If you do, check the box. You're what we're looking for. I need an hour of your day. That's all I need. 2, that you're truly ready to create everything right now. Remember, if you only have 30 days left to live, you'd be creating everything right now. There would be no sleep. There would no be, I'm tired. There'd be everything's passionate to you because you're on purpose, you're on point, and you are in your passion. If you're truly ready to create everything now, check the box. You're what we're looking for. If not, cool. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you being here. Next one. You can and you want to learn more. You know, the old famous saying that says, a cup that is already full can receive no more. Well, I agree. You know what? I get to turn 50 years old later this year, and I can tell you 2 things I concretely know. I know that I don't know, and I know that I know number 1, which is I know that I don't know. So that means I don't know anything. The only thing I knew is what someone taught me from the past, but I know what to create from, because I know how to architect. I know how to create a blueprint. I've done all the other stuff. And now it's time to make something interesting at a global scale, because we're playing for legacy, people. We're going to train 1 million architects in the next 5 years around the globe, and we're already well underway. We are going to change the educational system. The question is, are you going to be part of it now or later? I'm looking for people right now because I don't know if there's going to be a later, and neither do you. Time to make a choice or decision. If you want to learn, you really want to learn how to create, because what you've learned so far, and I proved it throughout this conversation, is that you've learned how to architect what you don't want. They taught you what you don't want. They taught you to get a job. They taught you to be a good test taker. They taught you to be good little boys and good little girls. I'm talking about freedom. You came here as a beautiful being to experience life, and it goes by that fast. and you never know when it's going to go away. So to hold back, wait for a rainy day is a decision of the past. It's a decision for failure. It's a decision for not being good enough. It's exactly what they programmed you to be. I'm here to wake you up. The question is, are you listening? Okay. Because the next one is you're done with the excuses. No more excuses. No more, gee, I'm never going to make it. No more, I'm too old. I don't have enough money. Bull hockey. If the person of your dreams walked into your world right now, male or female, doesn't matter, walked into your life right now and said, I want to go on a date with you, bang, you'd mysteriously find the money to go on a date. Now, don't tell me that right now, the person of your dreams just walked into your life and sitting right in front of you. That's right. It's not me. It's you. Your date called and said, I want to date with you. I want to go on the relationship of a lifetime. You have spent your life worrying about everybody else but you. But you, let me say this for you, family. Here's the deal. You're not the center of the world. That's a fact. But your world is centered around you. You're the center of your world. Everything in your world stems from you. You are the architect. And if you don't know how to have a relationship with yourself, oh my gosh, you are doomed to repeat bad relationships, bad business choices, not getting to where you want to be, wasting time, coming up with all the excuses. If you're done with the excuses, check the box. You're what we're looking for. Next one, second to last. You're tired of waiting. People, time is precious. Time is freaking precious. It goes by so fast. Look what's happened in the last 120 days to our planet at a global scale. If you're tired of waiting because you know you need to approach your life totally different, you need to architect a life and a lifestyle right now for you, your family, your children, your mom, dad, whoever it is, your company, your corporation. You're tired of waiting. Check the box. You're what we're looking for. Last but not least, and this is the biggest one of them all, take a deep breath, hold it in, and exhale it out. Get ready for it. You are serious, and I mean serious, about your own riches and wealth creation. If you are just half-hearting it, looking for some tips and tricks, pie in the sky, falls out of the air, I am not the mentor you want to hang out with. I create architects. I create people who architect the life they want and the lifestyle they want. You are not a Travis Fox clone. I'm not interested in Travis Fox clones. I'm interested in you, the beautiful being that you are, the architect that you are, and to train you to become the beautiful architect that you are, because you came to this planet right here, right now for a purpose, and you have wasted enough time with too many excuses, too much prior programming of decisions of the past. It's time to choose you, because guess what? This is your journey, boys and girls. This is your life. You get to experience it. The question is, are you going to? That requires choice. If you're serious about your riches and your wealth creation, check the box. You're what we're looking for. If you have not checked all those boxes, then everything I'm going to say to you next is irrelevant. It's a waste of time. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for spending your morning with me. And thank you for the Freedom Summit to allow me to come and speak to you all. I would love to be there personally, but unfortunately, I'm not there right now. But what I'd like to do is I'm going to pop that screen up for a second. We're going to jump over here. I'm going to check on some questions with you guys real quickly, and then we'll show you exactly the way you can start architecting your life right here, right now. It's on the screen. Oh, they put it back there. Okay, great. We'll go with that. Perfect. All right, we'll do that. Let's go. Here's the blueprint for your life. This is for Freedom Summit only. I want to be really crystal clear. And it is a limited number because there's obviously thousands more of you than there is of me. I want to give everybody the right period of time and training. What you're seeing on your screen is a snapshot of what our academy looks like. And you can see we grow here and connect. We are an interactive learning academy. What does that mean, Travis? Oh, great. Funny you should ask. What it means is this. It means you don't just watch a bunch of videos and then I never talk to you again. Ours is interactive learning. As you watch the videos, it's going to stop. You have to use your touch screen or your mouse. Get the right answer. We track you by data. You have an architect advisor who is a certified architect advisor with a minimum of 2 years of experience, been certified by me, and has students of their own who's going to guide you, who is just like you. You're going to have all of this. You're going to get online yoga from one of my top graduate students who used to be a CEO of an oil and gas company that generated over $40 million a year. And he woke up and changed his life. And now he's one of the most powerful yogis you're ever going to meet, but he architects you. So you're not just doing downward dog and all the positions. He's actually architecting at the exact same time. I'm going to give you, on top of this, 20 subconscious learning audios, unlimited use. You use them as much as you want. I'm talking about how to let go of weight, how to improve your memory, self-confidence, getting over grief, helping your kids get better grades. They're there for you as much as you want. Meditations that we've just released specifically in this particular time and place for immunity and self-confidence. You're going to get even more so. I have a friend of mine who's amazing. If you know what the singing bowls are, he's an amazing singing bowl artist around the world, does nonstop events, donated some of the singing bowl meditations to our academy. You can listen to these and they will truly harmonize you so you can get back into your architect immediately. So you're going to get that. You're going to get 14 online interactive. As I said, these are interactive. You don't just sit there and stare at my screen. Duh. You actually are going to interact. I'm going to track your progress. So when you get stuck, when you need help, boom, the system's going to tell me, it's going to tell the architect advisor, it's going to tell the architect training advisor who's coming up to be the next architect advisor that you are stuck. You need help. But wait, we're going to give you an entire community, as you see right on the screen. Our entire academy is one enclosed ecosystem. You don't have to go out to Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or WhatsApp. It's all there. You have one-to-one chat. You have group chat. Community feed board. You can ask questions at any given time. 24-hour customer relations management service. We can text you. We can email you. You are not out of contact. We're architects. You're the builder. We have to talk. We got to communicate. So you're going to get all this slammed into one big thing, and it's called the jump. We're going to jump into your training right now. You're going to be learning simplified, more lessons added every week. You get your certificate of completion as a certified jumper. And wait, if you're one of the ones that does this right now, I'm going to do something really special. And I talked to Celia and Joyce before it, and I just came up with it because I listen to my architect too. So this is going to be limited to the first 100 people that jump onto this sequence. They're going to put up the checkout page. You can go do it, knock yourself out. It's only $197. Normally, it's $397, and that is just to come into the first 7 days of the jump. I'm going to give you all 14 days of the jump for only $197. I'm going to give you all the 20 subconscious audios. I'm going to give you all of the interactive lessons. I'm going to give you access to my top teachers, my top architects who are going to help you because they're in their passion too for $197. Now, this is where you get to learn where you're making a decision or a choice, right? If you're making a decision, your brain's going to tell you, well, I don't have $197 and I don't know how to do this. And there's your decision right there. Now you get to own it. I'm not judging you for it, and I'm okay with that. If that's your choice, so be it. But otherwise, let's make a choice. Listen to your heart. If your heart's beating out of your chest right now, it feels like it's going to break your rib cage, and you're sweating, and you're going, oh my God, I want to get off my seat. I want to start living my life right now. Go, Travis, I'm in. Jump in. You see, you got to jump into everything else. Why aren't you jumping into training you? You got to jump into the car. You got to jump into the shower. You got to jump into a meeting. You got to jump into a broadcast. How come you don't jump in to train yourself? Only you can answer that. But for $197, it's all yours. That's my offer. You take it, jump in there. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a lottery for the first 100 people that come in. Here's what's going to happen. When we hit the number, when we hit 100, 5 of you are going to get the bonus feature. There's actually a third part of the jump. That's right. There's jump 3. I'm going to give that's for my advanced students. I'm just going to give it to you. That in of itself is another $400. I'm just going to give 5 of those 100. I'm going to draw it randomly. I'm going to give it to you. But I'm not done because I'm looking for architects. I'm looking for people who are going to jump right now and change the world. If you are helping people, you want to help yourself, you want to architect your life and your lifestyle, this is what I'm looking for right now. No more games, no more jokes. Let's get into it. Time is an asset. I gave you an hour. You gave me an hour. Now we get to make the moment of choice. One of those 5 people that gets drawn will also get our advanced training. It's called Architects in Training. That's 14 weeks. You get the assigned architect advisor. I'm going to walk you through the first 4 modules to become an architect master. Now, to become an architect master takes a year. It's over $20,000 to go to our program and do it. And people do it all the time. I'm going to give that to you. That right there alone is $3,000. One of you, of the people with the first 100 to take the jump right now, of the first 100 to do it, 5 of you are going to get jump 3 for free. But one of those 5 is going to become an architect in training. It's a $3,000 package. Question is, are you going to keep making the same old decisions of the past? Or are you going to jump in for $197 and choose a new life? That's up to you. I'm going to jump over and grab some real questions real quickly. If you got them, jump in. Let me see. Thanks, Joyce, for putting up the checkout page. She just put it out there right now. By the way, sidebar, while you guys are writing your questions down, I know I've only got a couple more minutes. Joyce, let me know how much longer I have, and I'll make sure I wrap it up for you right on time. But also, too, here's the deal. Thank the people that put this Freedom Summit on. I've been producing events my whole life. I've done thousands of them. I have 14,000 plus hours on stages around the globe over my career. That's not a made up number. It's a real number. I've done thousands of events. They're not easy to put together. Make sure that you thank the people that put this on. Thank Celia, who's always been wonderful to me. And thank Joyce and the entire tech team. Thank the hosts and the hostesses who've been here. It takes an army. In fact, I will tell you, it's harder to put on an online event than it is to put one live. So thank you, Freedom Summit, for letting me be a part of it. And I'm super grateful that you guys have done that. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over back to the big boss. I'll see you guys when you jump.
Well, Dr. Travis Fox, you blew our minds. That we have experienced so much energy and we received dozens of enthusiastic comments. But I would like to read one to you because maybe one slipped away. And because we're all about freedom, we really like Leilani that comment, "This is so liberating." And to talk about freedom, you know, this was fantastic. There are so many questions around, but one was very personal. Jendi would like to know, what is your personal ritual during the day?
Oh, sure. Great question. Yeah. What's my daily operation? Simple. So I'm one of those, I'm not one of those guys that's a guru and put myself on a pedestal. In fact, if you look at our logo, which is called the Helix Man, the one around my neck, our entire company, which is also based off my last book, is lead from the bottom up. So even though I'm the founder and CEO of the company, I'm at the bottom. See, most companies are built to the top, the CEOs of the top, which means the company and the people below it are limited. They're limited to that one person's ability to expand themselves. Well, I flipped the model about 20 years ago. I'm at the bottom. So my job is to empower people. We go wider and we have an infinite limit. So I walk my talk because remember, I'm just as messed up as you guys are. I just know I am, and I have ability to architect it. So let's just own that too. And I'm here as a spiritual being having a human experience as well. I get up every day. I make sure I do at least my stillness, and you're going to learn that in the jump. I also identify what's called a guardian. Where am I still limiting myself from my old decisions of the past? Where am I not looking at the opportunities? And then I'm going to teach you a thing that right now won't make a lot of sense, but for those of you who are in the jump program, you'll learn it. It's called a MOG, and that means moment of grace. And now you've heard that term as a fancy way of saying coincidence or deja vu or keebie-jeebies, the hair in the back of your neck. A MOG is an actual sequence of design that you'll learn through the thing called the golden loop that your architect is actually showing you, hey, this is the little breadcrumb of where we could go and we could choose this path. You may not understand it, but remember, your comprehension is not a prerequisite or a requirement for your cooperation with what your being is telling you. In fact, more often than not, it's this thing that talks us out of the very thing that we want. So my operation is to go in there every day, go through that process, make sure I'm in stillness, and then most importantly, I connect with my architects right away. I'm literally surrounded by thousands and thousands and thousands of great beings around the planet who are all part of the architectural community on the online academy, and we all work together and we support each other because we all understand the same thing. You're not getting off this planet alive, family. And if you only had 30 days left to live, would you be doing any of the things you're doing right now? And if your answer is no, then hang out with people that are going to reflect differently. If you go back to the beginning of this presentation, your outside world is a direct reflection of what's going on in here. So we got to get rid of all this stuff and clear it out so we can architect the life and lifestyle you want and surround us with people that do the exact same thing.
Thank you so much for your time, Travis Fox. We don't want the next speaker to wait any longer. So thank you again.
Good friend of mine. Don't make him wait.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.